Hi, everybody. I'm Romy, and this is Mark. For those of you that don't know who we are, we're going to make my part really quick in the beginning. We have a exciting presenter tonight, and he is actually a contact with Crystal and Neil Massencup. So I'm going to pass it on to them really quick so we can get started, and they will do the introduction.
Yeah, thanks, Romy. I appreciate you letting us do this. So just how this kind of came about. So Danny Yount is who is going to be speaking to us, and we actually go way back, all the way to like elementary school, but we hadn't seen each other since then, really. But actually, they joined as wellness advocates not long ago, and more importantly, we had the opportunity to go over to their house and spend some time with them several weeks ago, because they have an amazing ministry that actually they go down into Mexico and Peru and work with a group down there named La Roca. It's a group that they really pour into, and they have an amazing ministry. And so we're going to learn more about it, possibly looking at taking a trip down there. And so as we were catching up and we were about to start dinner, I was asking Danny what he did, and he started to tell me that he worked in essential oils. And frankly, I thought he was just pulling my leg. I thought he was just messing with me, right? Because he kind of knew that's what we did, I think. And so actually, he wasn't messing with me. He actually works in essential oils, but with animals. And I was just blown away at the kind of the parallels between what we are doing in doTERRA with trying to change the healthcare industry, and what he is doing with essential oils and trying to change the animal food industry and how they care for animals throughout that process. Going from antibiotics to creating taking care of the gut health of the animals so that they are healthy in a natural way. And so I thought, wow, this is, it's not exactly doTERRA, but just to see that kind of stepping, away from kind of synthesized medicine in these areas. I mean, that is the kind of industrial agricultural industry is a big area to make inroads into. And so I was just so excited to hear kind of what he was doing and what his company was doing to really change things on within our food supply. And so Crystal and I both just, wow, we just love to have him come and talk and to just encourage people on how big, right, essential oils really are, and the potential that is there. There's so much room for growth. There's so many opportunities to live a more natural lifestyle. And so we asked him, hey, would you come and just share what you do and kind of some of the challenges he faces and what he's seeing kind of in his business to business industry in essential oils and what's going on there. So he was gracious enough to come and do that. And he may be new to Zoom, so we may have to help him get up on here. But Danny, if you're ready, I'll turn it over to you. And hey, there he is. And I'll let you take it from here, man. I appreciate it.
Okay, thanks, Neil, and thanks for the introduction. As Neil said, we caught up after many years, and it was pretty crazy to see we were both, Crystal and he, working in the same fields, although I deal most with poultry, animal health, and as in the agriculture world. And I'll just kind of share a little background about how I came into this world. I was in poultry production for 10 years and then stepped out into the vaccine world, worked for a company that produces vaccine for the animal industry, protein industry. And then in the last few years, the natural world has really kind of taken off, and the customer, which would be all of us eating chicken or any kind of protein, is demanding a more healthier choice. And so in the United States and around the world, antibiotics, which have traditionally been used to treat poultry and cattle and all kind of animals, and I see that my battery's running low, so I may have to back up and grab a power cord real quick since I didn't plug it in. But anyway, in the past probably 4 or 5 years, that trend has been growing. And now I was looking at the latest stats. In the United States, we're at about 50% production that are completely antibiotic free as far as poultry world. So with antibiotics going away, there's quite a few diseases and quite a few challenges we run into in that world. So what I deal with is giving producers a solution, a natural solution to keeping their birds healthy, and that's where the essential oil world comes in for me. And so I found this company about 2.5 years ago called Pancosma. We're a company out of Switzerland. Our products are made in Switzerland and shipped over here. We do have a blending facility close in Canada, but everything that moves over here right now comes from Switzerland. And this company's been around for 70 years and kind of started out in the flavor world and then moved more into the essential oil world. And so we've probably been in the research and science part of this world for the past 15 years. But in the U.S., it's really just been in the last 5 years, probably, that this is taken off. And it was kind of for me to make this career change, it was something that I kind of saw coming. And so I wanted to be in front of the trend and the industry move. And so I made this move, and it's been done very well. And I think that tomorrow's future holds, somewhere between 75 and 80% of the poultry produced in the U.S. will be antibiotic free and going to more natural solutions. So that's the world we live in today. But with pulling antibiotics out so that those birds are healthier and so we have more choices, there comes quite a bit of challenges that producers face. And so the essential oil market is where I've kind of tried to learn a whole lot, and we've tried to provide solutions. One thing, let me grab a power cord real quick before this battery dies on me. But one thing that Neil and I were kind of talking about, I didn't get a chance to talk to Crystal too much the other night because she was talking to my wife, who is also now using doTERRA essential oil products. But we talked about the problems that we've had with companies coming in and selling a product that was not of quality. And we've had that same situation in the U.S. And in fact, it was so bad that really most of the companies out there really didn't want to hear about it. They'd been sold so many lies from other companies that they had a product that would cure all their needs, and then the quality of the product was very low, wasn't standardized, so it was never guaranteed that when you were going into a producer to sell that product or talk to them about helping them, they were very gun shy at first. And so that was a major issue that I learned pretty quickly coming into this industry. And over time, we've had to continually educate our producers on what it means to have a quality product, the way these products are produced, the way the essential oils are actually taken from the plants. And then something that we've done is we've guaranteed certificates of analysis so that you know the active ingredient, you know the percentage that you're getting of it. And so that's kind of been something that we've hung our hat on. And then another thing that's kind of unique about us and the way that we do things is in Europe, in the U.S., and I don't know if this is true of the human health, but as far as essential oils, they're not really regulated by the FDA. Same thing in human health. So in the animal world, they're not regulated by the FDA or the USDA. So anybody can say they have an essential oil product and really sell it with very limited amount of knowledge and resources to do that and go into that market. But in Europe, that is not quite as easy. There's a union over there called the European Food Safety Association, I believe, and they kind of do some of the similar things that the FDA does here. But as far as essential oils, you can take it through that process, almost similar to what an antibiotic or any kind of vaccine or drug would have to go through. It's a very expensive process and it takes a lot of time. But we've done that with some of our products. So it does have a claim that we have in Europe. It's not anything that you could hang your hat on here in the U.S., but it does kind of set us apart from our competition. So that's one of the other unique things about our company. And then I was looking at some of the labeling and stuff on the bottles that Jessica had, and just because of the industry that we're in, it's about making money in the end. The company, the producer, has to have an animal, and they have to have a healthy animal, but at the end of the day, they can't spend more money on the animal than it's worth. And so in human health, essential oils and those type of products can go for a lot more money, just because you can't really put a price on human health. I mean, it's very important for us to live healthy and have medicines, that will work. But in animal health, there's kind of a break-even point. We want to keep animals healthy as we can, but at the end of the day, if we can't sell those animals or the protein market and make a little money on it, we just won't do it anymore, and we'll quit producing the product altogether. So we don't generally use a very large dosage or high amounts of the essential oils, and everything we're doing as far as my company is concerned is we are actively trying to change the gut of the animal. And so we use a very small amount, and and if you look at the MIC value, which would be the minimum inhibitory growth of the bacteria, from an antibacterial standpoint, the different products like oregano is a big thing that we use, maybe something similar that y'all would use. But it's used in such a low dose in the gut that you really can't say it has an antibacterial effect at that dosage. So what we look at is how it's actually changing the gut and the physiological effects on a genomic level. And we've had our scientists and our researchers go through, and they'll actually map out the gut, the genes that are in the gut, and the expressions of those genes. And so that's where we have the science to say, okay, if we're going to put in this particular product, we're going to use capsicum, oregano, and cinnamon, or cinnamaldehyde, or whatever version of it you want to call it. If we're going to use that, then we need to know exactly what it's doing, because we can't just go in and say, hey, it's an antibacterial product. Well, it is, but at the dosage we're using it at, it's probably not going to get the antibacterial effect you would like it to have. So in those circumstances, for instance, we look at for instance, a gene called the MUC2 gene in the gut of a chicken, and it actually produces the mycoplasma, or the mucus in the gut. And if you use it even at a small rate, it'll increase the level of that mucus that's in the gut, which gives you a protective barrier. So it helps basically protect the gut itself from the bacteria. So we would call it, maybe use the same terminology, we would call it a immune response, or actually helping the animal's own immune system to fight off bad bacteria and to do things to help you. So anyway, that's kind of just a general broad spectrum thing of kind of what we do and how that's going in the poultry world. I think poultry right now is the biggest field as far as animals concerned, where we're going antibacterial. I think pigs and cattle are slowly coming behind it, but chickens were the first into that world. And so there's quite a bit of chickens grown now that are organic and natural and antibiotic free. And that trend will probably continue as long as we have the money to pay for it, because it is more expensive, in the long run to do it like that. And it does require a little more space. And right now, the essential oil products are probably just as expensive, if not more, than antibiotics that were used, and probably more expensive, I would say now. So it's a challenge to get customers to spend that type of money. But in the end, I think that when they see they can grow a chicken that's healthy without using antibiotics, and we save the antibiotics for human use, in the end, our customers are happier, and people are willing to pay a premium for that product. So anyway, that's just a brief version of what I do. You're willing to ask any questions, or Neil, if you want to prompt me to go anywhere else in that speech, you're welcome to.
No, man, I appreciate it, Danny. I thought it was so interesting, how that industry is so difficult to change, and to see that things are changing. I think it's just encouraging for just the kind of where we're going as a culture, focused more on natural ways of caring for ourselves. And so, um, kind of where we live, there's a chicken production is a big deal, and so it's just something that really speaks to me, that something that is on so tight of a margins is willing to do something like that, then obviously it is um, an important thing for people. So as we look at human health with doTERRA and helping people and affecting the healthcare industry, I'm just excited about what the future holds, to see it continuing to progress in so many different industries.
Oh, absolutely. And the science has been around for years. We've just kind of gotten away from the science, from the essential oil products, and now we're coming kind of back to our senses and starting to use that more and more. And hopefully that trend will continue. I know we've kind of followed Europe's pattern in this as far as poultry industry is concerned, but it looks like it's here to stay, and it looks like we'll continue to change the industry and grow it. And I'm very close with some of the vice presidents of some of these companies, and I think they see the value in doing this and trying to find alternative solutions to grow chickens and do it naturally and sustainably. And so that's kind of our primary goal as one of these allied companies, to support that business and to feed the world, because essentially that's what we have to do, is we have to feed the world, and we have to do it safely and effectively and sustainably.
Awesome. I really appreciate it, Danny.
Yeah, thank you so much. And also, this is really tiny, but thank you for not having your computer charged, because that is totally me. And it just makes me feel better.
No problem.
I have a question.
Sure.
Okay, Danny.
Best.
Okay, I have chickens,
Okay.
and they're basically organic, free range, because all we do is we feed from the mill. But where do you put your oils at? Do you put it in the?
Sorry. So everything that we produce goes into our feed. And so it has to be encapsulated, because feed at a mill is probably going to get heated up to 160, 175 degrees. So the essential oil is basically, we have a patent technology where the essential oil goes inside of an encapsulation process, and it keeps it from breaking down at the high temperatures. And then once it passes through the gut of the chicken within the feed, it breaks down and releases the essential oil in the gut.
Okay, well, because my feed I already get bagged and stuff, so it's already been through it all. So where would you, what do I say, recommend that you would put the oils in? Their feed or their water?
Well, I would probably say the water, if you're a small, when I say small, I mean a grower that's not overseeing a whole bunch of other growers.
Oh, no. I only have my own chickens.
Okay.
Right now, I am, because I have a husky who likes chickens.
No.
So I had like 35, 40, and now
Okay.
I'm down to about 10, because huskies been catching them.
I got you. Then in your situation, definitely the water would probably be the best way to go. Most of the time, and we do have water soluble products as well, but most of the time, since we deal with such a large volume and a large array of producers and workers and laborers, it sometimes gets left to the discretion of the person to do it correctly. And so we trust it to be done more correctly at the feed mill, where we have one person watching over it rather than a couple hundred. But in your situation, I think the water would probably be the best situation to put in. Yeah.
Okay, so I got in here late, So what essential oil? I know you were talking about oregano.
Yeah, we have a product that contains a specific percentage of oregano. It's basically oregano, capsicum, and cinnamaldehyde or cinnamon. That's probably our primary. It is one of our primary products. And then we also have another product that has capsicum in it and turmeric. We also have one of the allium, but I would probably most definitely, even if you're not using something from our company, most definitely probably the most talked about poultry product out there or essential oil that is used in poultry today is oregano, for sure.
Okay, I just saw On Guard come up. I use On Guard. I'm the On Guard freak of our group. When I clean my dogs, my cats stuff, I clean it with On Guard, and so there is a residue of On Guard. So somebody was recommending that to use On Guard in the water. I'm one of these people. I drink On Guard all the time in my water, so naturally, I'm trying to sneak it into my critters. So, yeah.
We are actually talking to some of the pet food companies right now about doing some work with them. So hopefully in the future, maybe we'll have an offering in that world as well.
Yeah. Whom on the pet food? Any particular?
Well, I mean, as far as we're concerned, it's not in there right now currently, but
Right,
we are talking with Mars, who owns a number of different brands. They would own a ton of different brands out there, but that's one of them. And then our parent company, Neovia, owns some pet food companies as well, and they're just labeled under a whole bunch of different names in the industry, but we haven't. It's not in anything currently that I know of.
Yeah. Okay. Because I feed 4Health from TSC, which is their brand, high quality, high protein.
Right.
Yeah. So, okay. Well, I was just wondering.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep the critters healthy and happy.
I understand.
So, thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am.
Danny, is there any particular, and I don't know, maybe you can't even say, but is there a brand that we could be supporting that and in that way we know, what kind of chicken can be a scary thing, right?
I understand there is a very large brand, but I'm not sure I need to disclose that, because that would kind of we're not supposed to tell our customers who we're selling into. But I will tell you, it's one of the largest brands out there, and they will market their chicken as antibiotic free. In fact, I believe their whole company has gone antibiotic free now. And so, let me run that by some people before I say that, if you don't mind, and I'll get back to Neil and say, hey, you can bring it up now.
Okay.
Yeah, you tell Neil and he'll spread the word.
Right, sure. I do appreciate that. But yes, they're one of the largest poultry companies out there. Uses quite a bit of our product in their chickens.
Well, this is a little bit off subject, but not really. I don't know how many of you guys listened to Emily's live today, but on Saturday during convention, they're going to have a panel of veterinarians this year to go over all the stuff for animals. So
cool.
That'll be cool.
Oh, yeah.
You know how excited I am about that?
I'm sure you're really excited, Melissa.
I am, because I have a variety of animals.
Well, they said they were going to dispel some of the myths about pets and essential oils. So that should be interesting.
Well, and it's also cool to hear from someone that has credibility to know that there is change coming from all different areas as far as the health of us as people, but just as in the health as a whole with where we're going. I mean, if we can, if the industry with as far as our food is really taking heed and starting to make changes in that, then it just makes it better for us as well. So it's awesome to know that they really are joining together. I mean, people talk about it, that things are changing and people's interests are changing and we want more healthy options. But it is nice to hear from the horse's mouth, so to speak, that it really is happening.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is why I was so excited when he said that. When he said, "Oh, I work with essential oils and chickens," I said, "Shut up," because it was just a parallel, and it also was we're being heard.
Yes.
And that voice is loud, so we're a loud voice now. So that's very exciting.
Yeah, I can testify from all of the major poultry producers out there that you are being heard. And there's the maybe 2 or 3 that voiced opinions opposite to that. They're kind of going to be left in the dust if they don't change. So we'll see what the next few years hold.
Oh, I love that. Danny, I know it's late for you, and so the only thing I want left is for you to say what you said to your wife about LLV for the Lifelong Vitality Pack, and then you can go to bed if you want.
Wait a minute, do what now? Remind me of this.
Okay, so remember the vitamins she started taking, Lifelong Vitality.
Right.
You read all those ingredients in there.
Yes. I was talking about the organic trace minerals.
Yeah, everything in there. And then what did you tell her she was going to be healthy as?
What did I say? I cannot remember. You're killing me.
That doesn't sound as good for me.
Healthy as a chicken.
That's right. She's going to be healthy as a chicken.
Yeah, healthy as a chicken. She will be.
Danny, I have a question for you. There is, this is Iris from Nebraska, and there is a company that has commercials talking, a poultry company talking about, and I can't remember if it was oregano or turmeric or, but they're doing it in the commercials. Is that the biggest company?
That's not the biggest, but that is one of them. Yes.
Okay.
I know who you're talking about, and I believe their commercial talks about thyme specifically. Maybe oregano in it, but thyme is definitely a part of it. I know the nutritionist that's in that commercial actually. But yeah, they're definitely one. Actually, they're kind of one that has led the charge, but everybody's followed after, and they're probably, I think, as far as industry, they're maybe number 4 or 5 as far as volume in the U.S. But they are a big one for sure. But there's at least one more bigger than they are.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, with the oregano and thyme already in there, we shouldn't have to season it.
Well, that's kind of what I'm thinking. It should be tasting better all the time.
Yeah. Anybody else have a question before we let Danny go to bed? All right. Well, Danny, thanks for joining us tonight. It was very informative, and it's really good stuff to know.
Yes, sir. I appreciate the opportunity, and glad to do it.
Maybe they'll start doing it with beef.
Yeah, well, that's the hope. Beef's a different animal because they're not well, they don't have as many, I guess, issues to deal with, so they kind of get around a lot of these veterinary feed directives and things. But anyway, the future is going to change, I believe. Yeah,
I think so. Well, thanks again for joining us.
Yes, sir. Thank you, and y'all have a great evening.
Thanks, Danny.
Thank you.
We got a few minutes left. Does anybody have anything they want to talk about tonight, or did you have something? Or? Oh.
Do you have any comments about that?
It's amazing. Every time I hear of another company doing something that is not human related. I just think, oh boy, the oils are going like crazy and they're gonna pick up so fast. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely, I think it's great to hear from a different spectrum in this. And it lends some, I think, a little bit more confidence in for us to know that, this really is, we're on the right track. We're making change. And honestly, I believe that doTERRA as a whole has a huge part in how the world is starting to look at the natural options about how we take care of ourselves and just everything in general. And we get to be part of it. So we are part of it, and we're part of the cause and making change. So thanks, Crystal and Neil, for doing that. That was awesome.
Very good idea.
Yeah. It's great for thinking outside the box as well.
One thing I noticed is he said natural solutions a lot of times, so I thought maybe they trained him with some doTERRA stuff.
Well, I hope that's the kit you sold him.
Anybody else have any comments? Questions?
We have lots of giveaways tonight, huh, Kenzie?
No, we're not ready for giveaways yet.
Oh, you got something else?
Yeah.
You just said you didn't.
I didn't, but they do.
Oh.
So we haven't seen you guys for a couple weeks. So who wants to share something new and good?
Didn't we give them a challenge last time?
We did.
To dream.
Yeah.
I will.
Okay.
So there's I guess it's not really, it's just a little bit of an informative thing.
Okay.
That I actually did it on my live this morning for digestin oil. And I'm finding that people are only using digestin for the digestive tract. And there are so many other things that it can be used for. My friend is actually using it on her sinus cavity to finish supporting her sinuses from her sinus surgery.
Wow, awesome.
She, when they moved, she got really bad allergies and got sinus infection after sinus infection. She spent months, like 4 months, on antibiotics and steroids and trying to get rid of it, and ended up having surgery because it was so bad. Plus, there was other stuff going on. But she said that the digestin has helped to keep her sinuses clear.
Nice.
And to help with the healing process. And then for the ears, it clears out the ears. We use it on Mason all the time when his ears start to hurt and his allergies are acting up. You just rub it on the back of the ears right here, and it helps with pain. It helps clear out the ears so you don't have that constant sound of like you're underwater. But yeah, that's anytime I have suggested digestin, people are like, "Oh wow, really?" But
I also used digestin the last couple of weeks because I had a lot of bug bites of various kinds on my legs after having gotten to the farm and spending a lot of time outside there. And it works wonderfully on those too.
Cool.
And if you partner that with witch hazel, it's even better. That's the ants in Alabama were awful. They're evil. I am positive. They are a spawn of Satan. They are awful. It's not even funny. They're so bad. But witch hazel and lavender and digestin help a lot with it.
Cool. Amy mentioned digestin for pain, and I've actually used it on my back for pain, and it's lovely.
I have
Thanks
a
for
good
sharing.
story.
Okay.
So Kyle's new girlfriend just enrolled with enrolled with doTERRA at the beginning of August. Her
Cool.
mom came to me because she's had a lot of digestive issues, ulcers. She has problems between her stomach and her esophagus that literally she can't eat. She was throwing up all the time. She'd get migraines. Like, she was having problems with her womanly stuff. So we started her off. I sent her home with like probably half of my cabinet of doTERRA because I knew that she needed to have a real experience to find value. So she's on the doTERRA Trim Shake. She's keeping food down. She's on Digestin, PB Assist, GX, and then I put her on the Lifelong Vitality Pack. She was doing really good, and then her monthly came around, and we learned that emotions and her rule like her digestive system and that, so that we put her on phytoestrogen and all of that, and she hasn't had a problem since. She's actually feeling better. She's able to eat and just doing overall better, not getting the migraines, because they were going to take her into a neurosurgeon to have brain surgery. So, like, even, I guess all I have to say is, if you really want somebody to have an experience, it doesn't matter how much you give away, because it will find value for that person. And she's probably going to be my next daughter-in-law, so I don't want a sick one. So, but she's feeling much better. But those are some of the things. So we had to kind of rule everything out. But using the phytoestrogen, using, you know, the Clary Calm and past tense and stuff like that, but just getting nutrition into her body made a huge, huge difference. So
Awesome.
just so you know, that was pretty cool.
Very cool. Thanks for sharing that. Okay, so 2 weeks ago we did the challenge for the Dream Big. Who did that? One person? You want to share, Iris?
Just me?
I'm sure other people did. They're just chicken.
You know I'm not. So my big dream is to, I have some stroke surviving friends in Malawi, Zimbabwe, and India. And I am dreaming of being the stroke, I forget the word that I had, but the stroke representative all over the world.
Awesome.
And my husband's going to go with me all over the world. He's not a traveler, so we'll see what he thinks. But that's the big dream that I have, and it's
very,
and it's now.
Yes.
Yes.
Thanks for sharing that.
Sure.
Chrissy. Where did Chrissy go? Oh.
Yes.
You did yours? Do you want to share?
It's not very big or anything, but I mean,
okay,
it is kind of big for me. My daughter just had surgery, and before she went in for surgery, she was having really bad headaches. And so I pulled out my little essential oil book and I looked up what to give her for headaches, and I thought, okay, I'll try it. And so I put a drop of each of peppermint, Siberian fir, and copaiba and frankincense on her feet. And she's like, what are you rubbing my feet for? And I'm like, just trust me, Cass, you know. And then I asked her like 10 minutes later, and she said it was gone. And then I just tried it myself, only I couldn't put it on my feet, obviously, because I was listening. But I put it on my forehead, and now my headache's gone. So I don't know.
Fantastic.
I know, this is cool.
Very
I mean,
cool.
yeah, but as far as, you know, dreaming big, you know, it's my dream is to get more people involved with this essential oil business. But, you know, that's just it's a dream right now, because right now it's not going very well. So it's still, you know, I'm going to do it.
Yes, you are.
Yes.
That's what dreams are all about. You
Yep.
just work your way into them. So you
Yep.
just call it in, believe, and go for it.
Yes.
Awesome. Thanks for
I'll
sharing.
share mine.
You're welcome.
Okay.
So one of my dreams that I've had for a long time is to have a diffuser and essential oils in every single classroom in the U.S. Like, it
Nice.
should be mandatory. So I finally stepped out of my comfort zone, and I am donating 2 kits and 2 diffusers to my kids as teachers.
Cool.
They are going to use them in their classroom, and they're going to use the On Guard cleaner.
That's fantastic. That's very cool.
And that has always been like one of my, for some reason, teachers for me have always been off limits unless I know them personally, just because they deal with my kids every single day. I don't want to ruin that by pushing oils on them and talking to them about another profession or something that could possibly be another profession for them, because they're obviously, most teachers are in the profession that they love and are not wanting to do anything else. And so it's been kind of my no-go. That's like one set of people that I just am very uncomfortable talking essential oils with unless I know them personally. And so I finally stepped out of the box and stepped out of my comfort zone and just asked them. And my kids are going to be healthier this year because of it. I'm so excited.
Awesome. And you did your chicken list without even realizing you did a chicken list.
I did.
Way to go. Awesome.
Hey, Romy.
Yes?
Just to bring up the schools and the oils, since that's really my background. In the inner city school, last year we were able to get them in several of the schools, 6 or 7 of them in Peoria. They had some extra money. Now I don't know if that's going to happen this year, but you know, one of the schools, it's definitely, their discipline reports are down, and it really is incredible. And while, you know, they may not want to build, a lot of teachers do want to use. So I would just encourage you to continue to share with teachers, because a lot of them are using them, and it's getting more. And I mean, especially the special needs population that I came from, it's incredible the difference it makes. You know, one of the classrooms had a student that is pretty nonverbal and was in partial restraint. He just had lost control of himself, and the teacher came up and he started motioning that he wanted his roller on his wrist.
Wow.
And she had permission from his mom, and it was vetiver that he wanted. So I have her heart too, that I just know that there's more potential. So I'm next Thursday meeting with the regional superintendent of the county. So I don't know exactly how it's going to go and what we're going to do, but one of the biggest concerns that one of the schools I'm working with is that they think that it's a fire hazard to have diffusers in their classrooms. I know they leave their iPad carts in, and so
Jeez.
we've got to overcome that one. But then you do hear a lot of people say, at least in the state of Illinois, the State Board of Education says that it could be an allergy concern. They could have an allergic reaction. So I just think it's, again, lack of education, because they could be allergic to the cleaners. They could be allergic to the perfume the teacher's wearing. So but that's my passion, is to keep that going too. So I'd have her take that off her chicken list and just, because teachers, I think, if they're really all about the kids, they really do want what's best. And if they can see, and there's some living magazines with wonderful guides and so much information out there. So
Cool.
that's my little blurb. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, maybe you and Latara can get together and brainstorm on how you'll make it big.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I got Mason's teacher by using the study that Japan did in the classrooms with the peppermint oil, and how their stats came up, their testing scores came up for the kids, and the way that they focused and interacted with each other in the classroom just by diffusing the peppermint oil.
Okay, we gotta share our studies then.
Okay, I'll find it. And send
I
it
don't
to
have
you.
that one.
Yeah, it was amazing. Like that, I was just watching it, and it was pretty crazy on how all of that, just a little bit of peppermint oil diffused in the classroom, can have that big of effect on kids in the classroom.
Cool.
And it makes sense if the kids are around it all the time. It's no different than using On Guard or anything to help protect your immune system.
Mm-hmm.
Latarin and Cinda, I would love to see a sizzle on that.
I was just thinking the same thing. You guys better get together and kibitz, because here we go.
Just pushing us right over our comfort zone there. All right.
Thank you. All right. Before we move on to the giveaways, I just want to, for those of you that weren't on the Sizzle before when we did the Dream Challenge, the challenge is to just sit for a minute and allow yourself to step into a huge dream. Don't worry about your head when it kicks into gear and starts to pre-qualify your dream. Don't do that. You want to just push all the self-doubt, all the logistics, everything that it would take to accomplish that dream. I just want you to dream. And then I'd like for you to tell somebody about it. So that is the ongoing challenge. I think that it's super important to always stay in that mode of learning how to dream. If you haven't started, it's a huge, huge step in the right direction to building your business and changing your life and the life of your family. So dreams are just huge. And a lot of times when we start doing this business, we kind of don't know how to dream. So this is a great place to start. If you're already a dreamer, then kick it into gear and dream bigger. So that's what that is. And we'll ask next week if you've done it. So don't be afraid to share, because really it doesn't matter what other people think about your dreams. What matters is that you believe in them. That's what your heart's desire is. And it's very powerful to take that step and speak that dream. It's very, very powerful to have the courage to speak that dream. So, and with that, we are doing 6 giveaways tonight because we missed one with Kenzie when she was with her family. So we thought that it would be fun to wait for her to get back and do a double giveaway. So
Why did we get up to 3 every week?
Because you're in abundance. Don't step back. We're staying in abundance.
I have a dream.
Right, Mark? It's one of Mark's dreams to give this much stuff away.
Yeah, that's my dream. No, actually, my dream is, I'll share my dream with everybody. Have you ever watched Undercover Boss?
Mm-hmm.
Undercover Boss, and at the end, sometimes the guy's a flake and he gives them like $5 or something. But sometimes they pay for their college or pay for their house or whatever. I want to be that guy. I want to be the one to be able to, I don't care who it is. If they come to me and they have some kind of issue in their life, I want to be able to fix it. Now, God's really the one that's going to be able to fix it. But I want to be his vehicle. So that's my dream.
You are that guy.
Hmm.
He's that guy for me.
Okay, giveaway.
Okay, the first one is, you want to leave the recording on, yeah? Okay. The
You
first
know,
one
you can't win without your picture on, your video on.
Have to have your picture. Jacqueline, Melanie, Melissa. Oh, everybody's on now.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, go to page 2.
Go, Kenzie.
Okay, the first one is Megan.
All right.
Yay!
What is it?
Lime.
It'd be nice to know what you won.
I said it, but you were still talking about something.
Oh, yeah, right. Whatever, Kenzie.
All right, the next one is lavender. And the winner is Zeb.
Nice. Yay,
Wow.
Zeb!
You got his picture on?
Yeah.
Where is he?
He's on the second page. Oh, there he is.
Oh, okay.
The next one is Ginger. And the
I don't see Ginger.
he named one of our deer Ginger. It just so happens that the deer that he named Ginger has little nubs. So he is not a ginger.
That's funny. The winner is Julie.
Hey, Julie.
Awesome.
Okay, the next one is Peppermint. And the winner is Letitia.
Sweet.
I gotta write these down as we go so I don't get mixed up when people start messaging me in a minute. Citrus Bliss is the next one. And the winner is Amy Guntry.
Yay!
Okay, the next one is Digestion. And the winner is Patricia Lee.
Sweet.
All right.
Congratulations. Is that 6?
Yeah,
It is 6.
that's 6.
You have another one there?
I actually have 2 more.
How many more?
2.
Okay, go on. Do it.
Okay, the next one's an intro kit.
Mm.
And the winner is Pam Stamps.
Yay!
Congratulations. What happened to our applause anyway?
I know, I need to get that back, huh?
Oh my gosh, we totally should have had a big old applause for this.
I know. And the last one is the GoPro book.
Sweet.
And the winner is Courtney Owens.
Whoa!
Yay!
Nice to see your face again, by the way, Courtney.
Yes.
Thank you. Kids are back in school, so they like
Yeah.
to fit at a normal time now. I'm happy to be back. Thank you.
Awesome.
Good.
Awesome. All right.
If you won,
So-
please send me your address.
Yeah. So if you happen to have the oil that you won, I encourage you to find someone to give it to.
Or the book.
Or the book.
Do you have the GoPro book already, Courtney?
What'd you say?
I think I have the I think I have it like on my ebook. So yeah, I'll give it to one of
Oh.
our members.
Awesome.
I'm on
For
it.
those of you that haven't either listened to the GoPro book or read the GoPro book, I highly, highly recommend it. It's got some really valuable tools and tips and tricks in how you conduct your business. I actually like the audio better than reading it. I have both, and the audio just kind of, it resonated better with me. It worked better for me in that way. But however that works for you, I encourage you to utilize that book. So you can stop the recording now, please, Kenzie.